Do you love referrals for your business? Feels good, doesn't it? You get that phone call from somebody who was referred by their grandma or their neighbor saying, hey, you're the trusted company we should go with. A nice, warm, fresh lead handed to you on a silver platter that's excited to talk to you before they even get on the phone with you. All you have to do is provide value and boom, you got a new customer. On top of that, it just adds revenue in your pocket and you barely even had to lift a finger. You want more of those? Then you need fans of your company. But Betty Jo Sue, who referred that person to your company, only has a small network of people that she can refer out to you. So how do you duplicate Betty Jo Sue? With a video testimonial that tells her story. Here's a powerful framework that you can use to duplicate those testimonial videos that will have warm leads calling you pre-sold to work with your company. In the story, you want to focus on the beginning where the buyer's journey started all the way through the client journey. So this will all start with, were they actually aware of their problem? And if they weren't, how did they discover it was a problem? Then how did that problem affect their life in that moment? Then what did your business do to provide value to earn their trust to give you a call to solve that problem? Then you want to continue that story all the way through the client journey, talking about what a great customer experience on top of the quality work you did for them. And then finish up with how you followed up with them and made sure everything was right and all taken care of before you left the job site. The story of that journey is what's so powerful and is what's going to connect with your ideal customers and move them from prospects into clients. Now, your clients aren't just going to be able to shoot a story out just like that. You're going to need to be able to guide them so they can tell that story in that specific way. So here are some questions and tips that you can help guide them along that journey to tell that powerful testimonial. First, always have them talk about how they actually felt when they first discovered they had a problem. Were they frustrated? Were they scared? Were they worried? Why were they frustrated? Why were they scared? Why were they worried? An example of this would be, it was in the middle of the summer and the heat was sweltering. Our AC suddenly went out, we were super hot in the house, and we were so scared that we're going to have to buy a new AC unit that we couldn't afford because our budget was so tight. And opening to a story like that, a lot of people are going to be able to relate to. And that connection is what's going to make it powerful. Then you're going to move into what about your company stood out that made them want to reach out to you? Was it another testimonial that they heard? Was it a referral from a friend or family? Did they see you had really good content put out on your social media or a professional website? So here's an example on how that would go. We decided to reach out to XYZ company because we saw they had took care of Mr. John on the testimonial video we saw on their social media pages, and he was running into the same problem that we were. So we knew if they could take care of Mr. John this way, they could definitely take care of us. Get them to include that in their whole story. Then what was it about the way that you provided value as a business that made them decide to go with you? Was it the way your front office staff answered the phone and was super friendly, sounded like they were smiling, and really cared about your problem? Was it your transparency through your whole process? Did you just simply show empathy for their situation? So here's another example of that. Bob from XYZ company came out to our home and immediately made us feel at ease. He listened to all of our concerns about our financial budget and us being in a tight situation, so he focused on finding a solution that would fit what we could work with. Right then and there, I knew they cared about me and not the sale. Again, very powerful in this situation. So they're describing what that gut feeling was that they had decided to go with your company. Then they can talk about the customer experience they had working with your company to come out and solve their problem. XYZ company came to our home to install a new AC unit, and from the beginning all the way to the end, they were very professional with how they treated us. They checked in with me the entire way, continuing to explain to me the process and what they're working on at that moment. I was put at ease because I knew they really cared about my needs and felt comfortable throughout the whole installation process. Then you finally move into how this experience changed their life when their problem got solved and what were some other secondary benefits that came with it. So here's an example of this. So after everything was installed, we got immediate relief from the new AC system, and it kept our house more comfortable than our old one. XYZ company followed up within the first several months to make sure everything was still operating properly. Not only did we have cold AC blowing in our home, keeping it nice and cool, but we were able to fit the new AC system in our budget. Plus, we saw an immediate 40% drop in our power bill, which basically covered the payments for our new AC system. Now put all those pieces of the story together inside that framework and you've got you one powerful testimonial.